Happy Sunday! Jewin it up! Gotta get Jude! Yo, I purposely used that title. All things considered, right? First, you have Hassan, you know, forcing or suggesting with like, whispering in like the ear of Anissa, Joma. I don't even think she's like fully Arab. I think she's only partially Arab and mostly other things. She's so dumb. It's like it's funny because like I think she's part Irish, and then I spoke about that time illegal migrants, most likely from her religion, her background. So it goes up. Garda isn't a security company in Ireland. Apparently, that's the police. So the guy went up to a police officer and just knifed the guy. I was wrong about that. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I don't mean to be reporting disinformation. Azure News is not CNN, is not MSNBC. We do not publish propaganda here, other than my thoughts, which I don't think is propaganda. It's just me, my thoughts, my opinions. But here we go. Let's get into it. Sonic gets Jude. He's Jewing it up. The Jews are like having a laugh. Yeah, do the little Jewish shuffle. Jews in the court. Jews getting sued. Jews suing Jews. What's the Jews news? I'll tell you what's the Jews news. The Jews came for Hassan's friends, and Hassan started seeing the walls closing in on him from all sides. And he was watching my my fucking YouTube chat. What the fuck? What did he do? He gave it he was giving it some thoughts, man. He realized that like it's over for him. Like he's desperate. He's calling for like when people, specifically like the leftists, pretend like they're not culpable to like the very things that they said. So like Hassan very much called for violence, death, whatever to happen to Ita Klein and all these IDF soldiers and stuff, despite the fact that like they've protested against their war. And see, this is the problem I have with like Jews, is that people are gonna die for your country and your cause, and they're gonna get tortured like that guy who's like underneath in the Gaza tunnels that they dug. And I could see why Netanyahu wants them to fuck out, man. It's like you got yourself a fucking cockroach infestation, all right? And these people will lie endlessly just to make themselves look better, endlessly. And I'm just watching this Tal Oran video, the traveling clat. Go subscribe to his channel. He's probably the most extensive news I've gotten from this conflict from a more neutral standpoint, because it's like it's one thing to get it from a Jewish guy, it's another thing to get it from a Jewish guy who looks like 100 how about say 100% Arab, but he passes for Arabs, and every other Arab actually gets that wrong as well. I find that funny, and then when they find out, like, whoa, what the fuck? You didn't solve the Jews' clues, my guy. Gotta solve the Jews' clues. But no, for real though, the whole movement is so racist. The Palestinians are racist. The Middle East is a motherfucking racist place. All right, people are finding out that the African Arab slave trade preceded that of the European slave trade in Africa. So people are finding out, okay, the difference between Europe and the Arab, whatever, the Arab Gulf countries that were participating in the sale, that you can even go to Libya right now. I think you could buy a human being for like 400 pounds. 400 pounds for a black man in Libya right now. And it's like it's all white people's fault for some reason. But yeah, but let's not get into that. Let's get into the funniest news. So I don't mean to toot my horn too much, but I gotta give myself a little bit of credit. I could tell that, like me, amongst other people, holla at your boy, more Pegasus, Sensitive Society, a Cheeto. I haven't heard from a Cheeto in a while. I think he's on vacay. But like, yo, young bloods, or sorry, 40-year-old person saying this. Disclaimer. Okay, these adult men, Like, sorry, I gotta stop doing that. Now that I'm 40, I gotta stop calling people young or young men or kids or any of that shit. Like, a man's a man. You know, once you pass that threshold, that's it. But Hassan will never know what that's like because so he comes out, right? And I know I commented about this, but like not to sound too repetitive, if you have to get people to write something like very how should I put this like a fluff piece and it has to be seen as favorable to other people, who the fuck describes chest hairs? You know what I mean? Like this homoerotic like behavior, and there's nothing wrong with that, Hassan. Like if you want to go that route, then that's all you, man. Like, you could be possibly, because of your fame and your reach, the most influential person when it comes to helping out, you know, the LGBT with your well, you have in multiple occasions reached out to them, and I find that to be telling, right? Like, why is it that you know so many of the clan, the Rainbow Clan, find affinity with Hassan, right? Knowing that it will ultimately lead to you know the oppression of people's laws, you know, women being like you know fully garbed and covered up and I saw this one where like this girl was like eating spaghetti and then like instead of like just pulling the mask down just to eat the spaghetti, she's pulling it up so nobody can see her mouth and then putting it under. And it's just like the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm like, why would a religion have like this exist? It's because people are weak. Because people are weak. And like if Hassan could come out and be like, you know what? We don't need girls. We're all right. They're all the power to them. But you see, Hassan is the type of person who does not like to sit with the idea of defeat. First, you know, it came at the hands of Asmongold. I don't even think Asmongold was actually even trying. Like, he's just doing the thing that all YouTubers do, which is like, you make a video about me, I'll respond to it type shit. And then Hassan found out the hard way that the internet does not like him. And the amount of, you know, moderators, people who are paid off, family members, you know, religious fanatics, they don't equal to the millions upon millions of other people who are free thinkers. And some of them, surprise, surprise, might actually be Muslim. You know what I mean? Might actually be, you know, more pure in that sense, right? Like they might be from Saudi Arabia for all I care. Like the reason why I bring that up is because the Arabs have a very like broad understanding of their history and background. Like they know, okay, we are related to no the prophet. I come from this guy. I come from that guy. Type of shit, right? And they know exactly. So when you see like people who are you know basically converts, they just spit at them. They turn their noses up at them because it's like from their point of view, if you actually speak to them about it, it's like, yo, I had a religion, I followed it to the letter. You know, nothing ever bad happened to me. I never did anything bad to anybody. You know, I prospered my whole life, and now all these fucking assholes are like, you know, taking my religion, running it into the ground. People are burning the Quran. People are like, you know, bashing us. They don't want us to pray in the streets. Oh, I'm hearing. I have to actually watch the video. I'll make a follow-up video on this about because I'm trying not to be racist. See, I'm watching a video from Harris Sultan. Yeah, that's his name. Go watch his video about it. Subscribe. And there's a pushback. I think he's a convert though, so maybe not. If you want like a moderate Muslim opinion on this, I I gotta get a better source. But Heresy, yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. But you know, caveats, right? Caveats. And like Australia is doing some sort of like you know thing. I just gotta look up into it. It'll be funny if they also ban the fucking prayers in the streets and shit too. But Hassan, yo, you got Jude, my guy. What's up? What happened? All your homies are getting sued, and they're asking for money or something, or like, yo, they couldn't raise it themselves. That's hilarious. Yo, Casey Tron, Denims, Frogan. Frogan's on the run. Frogan's a fugitive. Frogan the fugitive. Denim's the sellout. Casey Tron's just like fucking high and shit. Like, I don't know what's going on. You shouldn't be charging me. Sean the Black is like pissing his pants. It's like, yo, man, I don't got that kind of money. Hello, hey, yo, help a brother out. Token black, it's like straight up some token black guy bullshit. Oh fuck, dude. Wait a minute, the stereotype. Oh my goodness. Well, Hassan got so Jewed so hard, right? He Jewed so hard, he Jewed so close to the sun, he couldn't Jew anymore, and now he's all Jewed out, and now he's just Jewed. Too much Jewish jewelry. He wore too much jewelry, and then people assumed he was Jewish. And then he said he had to say "new" too many times, and then one day he said, "Enough's enough. We must smash the patriarchy by becoming it." With his like magazine, describing his like his body, his like whatever, and everybody clowned him over it. And what does he do in response? Like I feel as if like, and I think this is the same thing that Myron Gaines would do, that Rehab Room's doing. Well, no, Rehab Room to his credit, when he came out with it, he actually kept it like vague, so he wasn't like in your face about it. So if you didn't pick up on it, like you know what I mean, right? And I could appreciate that because when you're dealing with your crowds of people, the incels, mans who are they're not going to find happiness in life because of various reasons. You might as well like help them out, cater to them, like be one of them if you have to, even if you did the aforementioned dumpster diving or prostitution. Hassan goes to underage brothel, whatever. These people are, they're iffy, spiffy, and it's like it's kind of weird. Like most guys, when you get to a certain age, they feel like an absolute urge to get married. And I was this way, I think around 22, 23. Like I was just like, fuck, I gotta meet somebody now, or else it's just gonna be like fucking hell on earth to just like, be in a relationship, get married, all that shit, because I just don't know this person, right? And the reality of my situation is being a minority in Toronto, like, will very much alienate you from the vast majority of people. And it doesn't help that I wasn't, helpful in that regard myself, but like, I don't feel that being like measured as second best or being prejudged by anybody is necessary, even though that is very much the norm. Like, I'm not expecting like, super special treatment, but it's like at the same time, like, what the fuck? I'm like, it's like how black people feel when they walk up in a corner store or wherever. Like, you got all these eyes on you and like nobody really trusts you, even though they say that they do, or they say that they're not watching you. Well, they're watching you. And even though, like, and I have to admit, like, brown guys tend to be, on the infidelity side. Like, they are promiscuous. They are. I said this many times before. Like, a lot of people have a misconception when it comes to a lot of East Indians. Like, they think that they are one and the same. No, these people have been born through generations of like parental selection, so they circumvent natural selection. So instead of two people making up their minds, oh, I'm attracted to you, same, and then like male and female, form families, and that's their lives. Their parents jump in, and then when they get involved, now you don't have love, you have a financial transaction. Now extend that to like a few generations, and you know what you're dealing with, and that's why you feel so much hate towards them. That's why people are so upset and frustrated with them, because they're not genuine human beings. They are a false amalgamation of it, like entire generations of it too. Like, is it fair to say that overall, like, people have, like the nicest intentions, but like the most naive, understanding of other cultures? Yes. In the case of Hassan, I think, because I don't want to make this video about anything personal. I just want to make it fully about Hassan because of what he did. So he comes out on his podcast, as he does, and he knows that he has to give some money to all of his orbiters for their part on the Ian content cop video content news. And then that was, like I said, that was annoying. And I'm glad that it was annoying because guess what? Ethan Klein, he was also annoyed. So much so that he's suing you. What is it now? Generational wealth. How much money are you gonna have to be paying out, Hassan? So what do? You gotta get your crowds to go after Gila Klein, Ethan's wife. Ethan and Gila. Yep. And where's your wife? You don't have one? Oh, okay. 35. Yeah, you still have time, right? And yo, check his sideburns. You know something different? Oh, dude, I love this shit, man. The internet is the best. The internet is the best, man. Guy fucking dyes his sideburns. He's watching this like 17 subscriber YouTube channel, just like fucking clowning him and shit on your sideburns. I'm pretty much the only one who points that shit out, eh? Because I just find that shit funny. But like it's funny how like it's only me, to my knowledge, of course, and yet he still has to change his sideburns. It's like what the fuck, dude? No, why don't you drive your Porsche? Feel better about yourself. Fucking shave off your whole beard, like this whole neck beard shit. It's not working for you, my guy. You got salt and pepper and cybers. You gotta just for men. Oh, your cybers, and then you got Jude for in the courts in the public opinion. You got Jude. All over the world, like people are starting to see this whole Palestinian pro-Arab movement and just like this fallacy and basically softballing, pedophilia. Mr. If you're old enough to count, you're old enough to mount. It's all coming back in the end. Like I said, his last call to fame was the time he pulls out a gun and then the magazine falls out. His clip fell out of the gap, and now he's like, yeah, yeah. And what to do with him? Well, people are going to call for his ban, get rid of his sponsorship, blah, blah, blah. You know, as a 40-year-old man, what I want to see, that's not my business. What the fuck would I care? But, if you were to ask me what I think should happen, well, this is what I think should happen. Hassan likes to talk a fuckload, right? And Ethan likes to do that thing where he likes to pretend where he's gonna debate you, but then he gets Sam Cedar in. But instead of Sam Cedar, what about another Sam? A Sam that doesn't like to hide. No, a Sam that goes by another name, the Candyman. Just settle it once and for all. No more arguments. No more hysteria. No more yelling at your chat that's clearly gassing you up. Dude, I want to give praise to his chat for being the most, you know, exclusively hilarious way of clowning Hassan by just getting close to him, pretending to be his friend, and then telling him what he wants to hear ad nauseum to the point where he's basically, I don't know if this is committing a crime to call for the arbitrary violence against other people, but I find that funny, huh. So it's come to this, right? And why not Ethan? Why his wife? Because his wife was in the IDF? Who gives a shit? And let's be honest about Palestine for a second, okay? If Palestine becomes a state, the world's a worse place. Because, yo, dude, those indoctrinated from birth kids who are, bloodthirsty and, foaming at the mouth to kill? If they gotta do it, right, and they gotta pop off, do you think they're gonna take 2 seconds to think if you're in a crowd of people not to fucking, pull the trigger or detonate their bomb? Nah, dude. And that's what you unleashed upon this world? You want more of that shit? Well, the world has spoken. The courts have spoken. Nobody likes these types of people anymore. Nobody likes you. Nobody likes this idea of, oh, just because I'm saying the most common sense, natural approach to something, that I am in the wrong or I'm racist. Nah, dude, nobody cares. Like I said, racism is back there, I call all these things. I say these things for a good reason. Because we are living in the age, the Jew age, the Jewy Jew on Hassan. Hassan got Jewed. He got so mad that he got to throw out these threats. He's got to talk like he has power beyond talking through streams and his uncle and his like family. It's like it's a joke. Like what should happen to Hassan? Well, yeah, that's what I want. Just like him versus Sam Hyde. Like just men having it out. Just like a natural fight and stuff. Because I know Ethan, he's a family man. He probably doesn't even want to fight you even still because he's just like peaceful by nature and stuff. But like, yo, if you want that heat, Hassan, if you want that smoke, come and get it. Stop being a little bitch, man. Candyman's calling you. Grab you by your chain, yank you by your throat. You'll never be the same again, Hassan. And the next time you pose in just editorial, whatever the hell it's called, was it GQ magazine? No, it's Time. Ugh. Well, anyways, time's over for Hassan.